beneficial was it for you, having played under Vic for that season in Miami, to be able to come into his system? How much more comfortable did it make you tonight?
Yeah, I definitely think it helps. At the end of the day, when you learn a system, then learn another system, you kind of forget all the other stuff. But there's definitely been some recall. Being on the field, I felt super comfortable with the calls, and yeah, it definitely helps.
We know how excited you were during the week to get a chance to be on this team. What was it like pregame, kind of going through the emotions of it all?
I just felt super grateful. It was the first time in a while that I've gotten a little emotional before a game. Just, obviously this stage and, coming here is my first time at Lambeau, walking out through that tunnel. It doesn't get better than that. So, yeah, I'm definitely grateful. Felt amazing energy from the guys. It was just an air of confidence. And everybody played together. We had a great game, honestly. It was super gritty. So, yeah, I'm just grateful to be here for sure.
When you say emotions, can you describe what those emotions were?
Just gratitude and just, taking in the moment. How insane is it to be playing at Lambeau Field on Monday Night Football, Eagles versus Packers. It's huge. Just processing all that and taking it all in, I definitely felt the energy, and it was exciting to be a part of.
There was a fumble there at the end. What are the takeaways from that?
I'm just glad I can come in and help the team. My biggest thing coming in, no ego, and just wanted to earn the respect of my teammates and my coaches and the fans and everybody. All I can really do on my end is obviously do my job and know my plays and everything like that, but just play with fanatical effort, and that's what I do, play in and play out. So obviously it's great to be able to get some production and make big plays for the team. What better stage to do it on? So definitely super grateful.
So many people talk about the pass rush element of your position, but how much pride do you take in stuffing the run?
That's equally as important, if not more important. Obviously the sacks are flashy. Everybody talks about pass rush, but truly you can't rush the passer unless you stop the run. So I think it's a bit of a pride thing. Really, you can kind of see pass rush as more finesse, more kind of like sexy, but stopping the run is gritty. It's hard, and it takes toughness, and I think that's what we showed.
What was it like with Jalen Carter getting pressure up the middle? How did that help you, and likewise, how did you help him?
Yeah, I think we rushed well. I still think there's a lot of meat on the bone, and coming in, working together. We only had a handful of days in practice to kind of get this game plan right. So I think that the longer time that we spend together, the more time we spend in practice and meetings and everything, kind of just getting closer and getting that rush as cohesive as possible. I think it's just going to only go up from here.
You said Brandon Graham. Your first game of this team, the tight game as it kept going on. What was it like with the unit? How did you approach that? What did you notice from the rest of the team about that?
Man, I think the biggest thing I noticed is just no panic. The whole entire time, there was just utmost confidence on both sides of the ball. And it felt really good to just, be in that environment and just to know, like I said, the defense was handling our job and offense did what they had to do. It was a great environment and just such a fun game to be a part of for the first one out.
You said Brandon Graham helped you out a lot this week talking with him. How special was it that BG made his season debut and then Nolan Smith is coming back and you're making your debut with the Eagles?
Yeah, it's huge. BG's been amazing to me so far. I feel like I've known him for years already. And so to see the joy that he has to come out and play this game, that's what it's all about. And then Nolan as well. I think he's been chomping at the bit to get back on the field, and he deserves it all. I thought Jalen's played a great game. All of us really did what we had to do and, played with great effort out there and just have fun. So it's really cool to see all the guys coming back. And I think it's kind of fortuitous that all of us are, basically, not that it's their first games, but kind of coming back at the same time. So
Your pressure early helped Jaelan get that sack there. What was key to that play for you?
Yeah, I think that's kind of what pass rush is all about. Whether it's me getting the pressure and he gets a sack or vice versa, it's all about just affecting the quarterback. So, with that, for me, had a good rush. Try to get the ball out. Obviously, we'd like to get the ball out next time. But at the end of the day, you've got to be selfless. And, I'm just happy for my teammates, for them to be able to get that play, because ultimately we all win when people are making plays. So to me, I'm not worried about missing a sack or whatever the case is. As long as I'm helping the team, that's really what it's about.
When was the last time you got emotional before a game like this?
This is a completely different feeling in a different environment. You get emotional before certain games. I don't know. It was a new feeling, because this is just symbolic of a lot of change in my life and, kind of a new path, new destiny. So for this to be the first game and for it to play out how it did, I just think it's surreal.
Any words of wisdom from Vic before the game to you at any point? Or
Just a firm handshake.
Sometimes when somebody's in a new situation where they're learning a new system, maybe you're not. How are you able to play so free and not be thinking about your responsibilities as much and be able to let it loose?
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to obviously preparation. I've been in the playbook all week, making sure that I'm good on all the calls that you call. And then when it comes down to it, you just got to play loose and play free. Like, no matter what happens at the end of the day, I've played this game since I was 7 years old, and I know that I'm at my best when I'm just playing free, having fun, and just like emotionally invested in the game. So I think for me, like the calls are very simple, and that's what kind of made it easy for me to just let it loose and be as effective as I could.
The feelings before the game, the feelings after the kick, coming into the tunnel.
Just excitement, man. I mean, it's fun to be part of games like that. And then, my dad and my uncle flew out and did a road trip from Chicago to come up here, and so seeing them on the side or on the front row in the stands after the game, I mean, that's priceless. You can't replicate that. So like I said, man, I'm just super grateful. So
What part of the front row, like what part of the stadium?
it was this near end zone, kind of in the corner, but around to say like the 10-yard line on this end zone. Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Did you?
Did you walk by them at the end of the game after that?
Well, yeah, because I was doing an interview, like a live interview, and I saw people wearing number 50 and like waving at me. So at first I didn't recognize it was like my dad's best friend, my uncle. So at first I didn't recognize him. I was just like, oh, someone's wearing my jersey. And I was like, oh, it's my dad, my uncle. So yeah, man, that's unbelievable. It's really cool. Thanks, guys.
Man, he a great player, man. His tenacity, his effort, man, it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal, man. Happy to have him on the team for sure.
How's the rush feel like working in tandem with him, and how does that kind of change it?
Man, it feels good, man. We just all working together as a group to affect the quarterback, and that's one thing that he did today, and a lot of us did, trying to affect the quarterback and just get to him.
Your first game back, how are you feeling out there? The excitement, the nerves, all the things.
Oh, man, the nerves ain't nothing, but it was mostly excitement, man. I'm excited to be back with my guys. It was fun, man, and, I bring the energy and effort and just fly around, man, and boost the guys up always.
And since that injury, all of a sudden this Eagles defense looks a lot different with Phillips and Brandon Graham back and all of that. How much different did the defense feel tonight?
Man, I just say, man, we played together, and that's one thing, man. We always play together, then we are unstoppable, man. We just be on one page and just keep hunting and keep going.
It seemed like a lot of the sacks would be like, okay, Jaelan would get a pressure, Hunt would pick up the sack, yours, the pocket kind of seemed like N'Kobe had a really good rush up the middle, and you got the sack. I mean, you were talking about team defense. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, man, team defense, man. All 11 playing as one and being on the same page. And as long as we fly around and hit, everybody was worried about the weather, but we was mostly worried about having fun with each other.
How was the weather?
It was all right. I'm from Savannah, Georgia, so I ain't really thought it was that cold. I thought it was all right. So, everybody got their own opinion.
Do you think it affected the game on either side of the ball?
Other than, like, the kicking game because of the wind, but other than that, like, it ain't affected the game at all.
Jalen's had 2 sacks in his last 2 games. What have you seen from him in this recent stretch that has led to this productivity?
Man, my young dog a baller, man, and just tell him keep going and tell him we always going to be there for him, and I want everybody to get him.
When it is a slower day for the Eagles offense, what is the mindset and the message on the defensive sideline when you're seeing that play out?
No, it ain't a slow day for them, man. They got our back and we got their back always, man. And as long as we play like that, complimentary football, we'll be all right.
What do you think of Jalen's debut?
Man, big debut, man. He had fun. And long as he know that we all here for him, there's nothing else that can happen.
What did it say, a close win but a big win at Lambeau Field?
That's the main objective, come out here and get a win. It was ugly. Offensively, we struggled, but we came out on top.
And you mentioned the offense struggling, but when it mattered most, Saquon sets it up and then you make the big play. What patience is required to wait for a moment like that?
Yeah, man, that's a big part of it. That's part of this game. Being patient, making the most of the opportunities. Sometimes it get tough, when you're not getting those opportunities, but when you do get them, you have to make the most of them.
You mentioned Saquon Barkley busting out that 41-yard run to set up your touchdown. Do you always have the confidence in a running back like that to show up in the biggest moments too?
Oh, yeah, anytime the ball in his hands, it can go the distance anytime.
And you mentioned the frustration with the offense. what were the Packers doing to mitigate the offense? When we saw the first 2 matchups earlier in this month, you guys had more easier ways to move the ball.
In the run game, they were bringing the safety all the way down in the box, and they had more people in the box than we could block. And then pass game, they were just dropping everybody everywhere. So we have to be able to adjust, have to be able to go out there and be able to go out there and execute no matter what's going on, find ways to make it work.
And where does this team go now? A big win in Lambeau, Sunday Night Football coming up. What's the mindset?
Get back to Philadelphia, get from all the way over here.
Fonte, thank you. Jaelan, it was a couple of players on defense that showed up in the biggest moments in this game. What does that say about your defense?
Man, it just showed that we all together, we all working as one. And, even though we got some new guys who came out here and ball out, Jaelan, et cetera, it's all about trust. And, this whole week we've been telling them we trust them. When we get out there, we all is one. It's not just you out there. He came out, he showed I got the fumble, got some pressures, and he had a hell of a game.
And Jaelan Phillips, you mentioned it, the new guy, and you said that you trusted him. But to be able to come into this defense on a couple of days and perform like that, what does that say about him?
That shows the athlete he is. Just
my AirPods, you gotta pay for them.
it showed the athlete he is, and for him to come over here and have an impact game like that, especially how the game went, low scoring game, etc. He's a dog, man. We seen it on film when he was in Miami. Vic knew him, so had good words about him, and he came out. He's going to keep balling.
How did he kind of help you personally?
He on my side, so anybody on my side helping me, because either we call stunts or we do anything where me and him got to work together on this rush. I consider that helping me. I just try to have the confidence where I don't think about nothing negative or I never rush with this guy. This guy coming mid-season. Nah, I'm telling you, yeah, that's it though.
Who got the second phone?
Oh yeah, you say he got the second one?
Who got the second phone?
That was Jaelan. That's what they told me. If I'm wrong.
Phillips, yeah.
Yeah. See?
Jaelan,
Yeah.
it's really proud, Jaelan Phillips, of his gritty play against the run. How well does he fit in that aspect for you guys?
Oh, man, every defense I've been on, it's always stop the run first. That's the main goal. Stop the run, then you can get the pass downs where you can throw it in, or they could throw it in. We can get pass rushes in where we can get sacks and stuff. But he came in big, man. I couldn't really see him because I'm fighting my own blocks, but every time I got up, he always at the ball. He's always there. He's hustling, and I appreciate his work ethic.
Did you know that they were going to stay committed to the run game? Did you think that was going to be the game plan for them?
Well, I didn't know, but they got a good running back, so I wouldn't be surprised. He a dog, and whatever they had planned, that's just what they did.
We know that this is the ultimate team game, but what are the conversations like on the sideline? The offense is having a slower day. What type of pressure does that put on this defense?
Man, we just keep it positive, man. We don't speak on what the offense is doing. We see it, but at the end of the day, we got to go out and still get our stops. If they score, we still got to get a stop. They get a turnover, we got to get a stop. It don't matter. So, you just talk about what we see out there, what they doing, where they sliding, et cetera, and just go up there.
Out here having fun. I've seen him smile, coming on the sidelines like he been here all year. So, when he really gets his feet under himself, I'm excited for that.
Is there anything that he's done or you guys have done to kind of immerse him into the culture or just kind of make him feel? Or is it just...
He fit right in, man. Yeah. This is the culture that we have. It's no ostracizing guys when they first get here. It's none of that stuff. Because at the end of the day, this is our squad. This is our team. That's what we come here for. We come here to play as a team. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter how late you got here. You're part of the team. And that's the culture that we built. And super proud of that because it's not like that everywhere. And when the guys coming from away, and, they had success there. Jaelan Phillips was a great player for Miami and all that stuff. But when he comes here and he has fun and he feels that energy and it's like he just been here for the whole year, that's a testament to everybody in the locker room. So.
You saw multiple guys on this Eagles defense show up when it mattered most, big plays. What does that say about the job Vic Fangio's doing right now?
Play though, because they heard who make it. He doesn't care who make it. So everybody gets a chance to make a play. If you're on the field, all 11, you have a liable to make a play. And just seeing guys show up and just have fun with it. I think that's the most important thing for me is just seeing everybody have fun, get a turnover, we celebrate, everybody celebrate as a team. So I can't really say, but play doesn't care who make it. Vic Fangio calls the plays, but the 11 that's out there got to make them.
And the Packers, this was a back against the wall, got to win type of game to stay in the top of the NFC conversation. What does this win show that this Eagles team is capable of doing?
Just win week to week. Just win week to week. We don't want to look too far ahead. We don't want to look too far behind. Just win each week, and then we'll let the chips fall where they fall.
We have to evaluate pretty much every
package and rush and look that a team has done all year. So, right now I think we're at 9 or 10 games. So, we're going to look at what they did for 10 games, and you may see 100, 200 different blitz packages, which you're not going to run 100 or 200 plays in a game. So, we go through and evaluate and just have a plan for everything.
We always hear Nick Sirianni talk about complementary football. What did you see from the Eagles defense today?
I would just want to say thank you to thank you to all my defensive players. You guys were the MVPs of today. I'm sorry I was talking to the wrong camera. I just looked at the one with lights. I guess I'm like a fly. I'm just attracted to the light.
You got the right one now.
So, yes, thank you to our defense. You guys balled out today.
Did you already share that message with them?
Oh, I did earlier before you guys got here. I just said thank you to all of them because, at the end of the day, whoever scores more points is going to win the game. But, without them today, almost pitching a shutout, it was an impressive feat on the defense.
We talk about the defense, but the patience that is required, only took one drive for this Eagles offense to win this game. The Saquon play, the DeVonta play, did you guys have the faith it was going to hit eventually?
Eventually. Football is one of those things you need all 11 guys on the same page. That's why I love it as a team sport, and that's why I think it's the greatest team sport out there. And I think for us, it was taking advantage of the opportunities that they were going to give us, and I think we kind of struggle with that at times, and then we just got to finish.
We know the Packers, their backs were against the wall to stay atop the NFC race. You guys come into Lambeau Field, a tough environment, knock them off. What does this say about this Eagles team?
I think it says a lot about us just being able to, grit out these road wins, especially. like you said, Lambeau, beautiful stadium, awesome place. They got really nice folding chairs in the locker room, so I appreciate that. We grit it out. We get these tough wins, and I think that's just kind of the identity of this team is sometimes it's going to be tough, but we just find a way.
Watch the boys just come together, and we bowled up in the end. Defense, made a big stop. That was cool for JP, Jaelan Phillips to come in, make that play. It was just a great overall win by everybody.
What do you see in him?
Well, first, 6'6", he got length. He's somebody that can run, as you can see. How he got after Jordan Love on that one third down. And it's just like, we need him, and I'm happy that he's on our team.
Did it feel like just getting back on the bike and playing, or did it feel like you hadn't been retired for a few months?
Nah, you know what? It actually felt good. Like the first week felt like what you just said, but now I feel like I'm in my groove of I've been just doing a lot of extra, and now today I didn't expect me to go out and play much at all. It's just more just getting out there, getting that adrenaline going a little bit, and then as we just keep building, because we in it for the long haul.
What's it say about the defense you guys can turn in this type of performance? Letting up 7 points, big stage, Lambeau Field.
Man, it felt great because everybody, I just think even up front, we just, we was just trying to make sure we stopping the run. Of course, it got a little leaky in the second half, but I thought we did overall just, stay together. And that's all you really want as a defense, because there was so many different situations that popped up. Midfield, they only got 1 yard on one drive when they started at the 40 or 45, I think, and they aimed across the 50. So, that's what you need. You need to be able to, help the offense, put them in good situations. And I thought that the offense made the play that they need to make in the end. Of course, we, got a fight and they scored and it just got real tight. But that's what you want as a defense. You want to be able to show up in a big way, and just happy that we did.
New faces on the team, since last year. What does it feel like on the sideline, on the field? What are the exchanges like?
Well, this is where you're building. This is where you start to build and know your teammates on how they are in game mode. And so when stuff come up in the game, it's no pointing fingers. And so you find out about your team that way when adversity hit. And right now we got some good stuff going. Just about us just going out there making plays and encouraging one another and just staying focused on the task at hand. It's like some stuff gonna happen, but it's like what you gonna do about it. And so that's how we kind of go about it. So I'm hyped that we in a good direction on that, and so you can build off that.
Your first game back post-retirement, and it's at Lambeau Field. Any emotions running out of the tunnel or anything?
Oh yeah, it felt good. I played here a bunch of times. I don't know my record, but it should be on the winning side of it. But it just felt good just being back. First game back in Lambeau, and then got the win. And now, Detroit Lions coming to town, And so all my family coming in, they all big Lions fans, so that's going to be a fun one too. So hopefully now getting a little experience in this one, I can get some more in the next one. But I was just hyped to just see the guys go out there and make plays.
What's allowed Jaelan Phillips to kind of blend in so well?
Because for one, you know Vic, and then for second, it's the culture in here, man. It's just we welcome that. We welcome guys that come in and try to. I mean, that's here to help, and that's all we want for him to just feel comfortable, to know that, hey man, we want to help you get up to speed fast because we know you're in shape. Just about knowing what you need to know, and sometimes when we out there, it's like, hey, you got this, or he already know, or we just help each other, and that's what I like, man. I think we got a bunch of good guys on the team that just want to help. Of course, we competing against each other, but at the same time, you don't feel that out there. You feel like everybody just chipping in, trying to help, and getting everybody up to speed because we gonna need everybody when we make this run.
You mentioned needing everybody, but you see multiple guys making big plays. You talked to us this week about pass rush by committee. How long can this work where it's not one guy, it's a different guy every single week?
It could work as long as we want, as long as we just keep building and not worried about just the stuff that we can't control. Okay, like if you ain't get one this week or whatever it is, your stats that you wanted, it's like we got to win. And then next week, you don't know. It could be you next week. We just got a bunch of ballers on our team, and so we just trying to make sure that we manage all those different emotions that come up. Because, of course, you want to go out there and you want to play well, especially when you win. But sometimes it's ugly how we win. But, the guys that made the plays that we needed, they made the plays. And so you just don't want to go out there trying to fight and push for, plays, because that's when you open up other things. You got to let it come to you. And so I thought we did a good job today.
No, because this game is, in a blink of an eye, it can change. And that's just the truth.
Can I ask you about the spin move, just kind of what was going on, like how it rates one of your other moves?
Yeah, to be honest, I think somebody dropped me and left me open. Jalen did a great job of reading, his progression and getting to me. That's something that we harp on, focus on, of getting out. And I got one-on-one in open space, and whether it's a spin move, whether it's a jump, whether, I feel like we call it a bag. I feel like I can do whatever I want in that situation, and sometimes we get got, but I think I'm going to win that situation more times than not. And it was a big play for us, and then, even a bigger play by Smitty, but it was a big drive there.
Was there just talk last week about getting you out in the route more, is that just an example of what can happen?
Yeah, I think, since I've been 18 at Penn State, I've been really good in space. I feel like I'm a playmaker with the ball in my hands, and I made that play in that moment. There's some plays I left out on the field, and I just got to get better at. But what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish, we all got to be better as a group, and we know that. But most importantly, we got the win, and you can't lose sight of that.
When it comes to the spin in particular, is that all feel, or are there moments where you want to use that?
Kind of feel. I work on it in the off season: spin, jump cuts, dead legs, jumping, stiff arms. Working it on those mornings in the summers and when it's hot. When you're doing doubles, and it comes up in those moments. So, yeah, that's what it is.
I know you're
feel kind of reacting.
Sorry, I know you're someone who studies this game a lot and watches a lot of players and knows Smitty's ability to catch those 50-50 balls. What's kind of your perspective on it?
Yeah, I feel like people forget that he won the Heisman. He's a pretty good football player, and I don't know why that's forgotten. How hard it is to win the Heisman, but shout out to Smitty. He comes up big for us every single time, and it's from a Steph Curry video I watched when I was in college when Charles Huff, my running back coach. Success is not an accident, and for you go on. I know you guys aren't there. You guys only there in the beginning of practice, but when we're in special teams, when we have a break, if you just try to find Smitty, and you're going to be on the judge catching football. So no surprise, to be honest.
Do you subscribe to the idea that some guys are just clutch?
Yeah, I think so. I think we got a lot of people in this team that's clutch. I think the way you learn how to be clutch, though, is to up to. And I think if you ask everybody in this locker room or all the guys who made big plays, a time that they weren't, and they can all go back to that moment. So you learn it, but the way you are able to be clutch is how detailed you are in your work, the little things that you do. So when that moment comes up, you've done it multiple times, so it's no surprise.
Jay, when you have someone one-on-one in space, how do you decide whether to run through them or to do like a spin move juke type?
Film, body demeanor. I feel like God took his time with me too a little bit. That helps. Sometimes I'm just able to react. So a combination of all those.
How do you view how the 4-minute offense went?
Unacceptable.
I mean, you guys did get into their territory though.
Yeah,
Picked
I
up
mean,
a few.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, we did what we didn't actually. We gave them the ball back. So
Yeah, you did. Yeah, but you got into their territory.
Yeah, we got into their territory, but the mindset is end with the ball in their hand, and we didn't do that. And that's on me. I'm the running back. Just 2 minute. You could look at the wide receivers and quarterback. 4 minute. It's on the running backs and the offensive line, and I would always own that. It starts with us. Got to find a way if it's a 3-yard run, make it 4 or 5. Try to find a way to get first down while protecting the ball. And haven't been great in that situation this year, I feel like. And definitely something that, me off, to be honest, but I got to be better.
We talk a lot about complimentary football so far this season. What did you see from this Eagles defense today?
How about that defense, right? At one point, I thought the game might end 3-0. I started thinking, have I ever been part of a game that ended 3-0? But that's what it takes, man. There's going to be times where, it's going to take us on offense to put 30 and 40 points up. And, if they don't score touchdowns, it's hard to lose a football game. So shout out to those guys, and you can continue to see that they're just getting better and better as the year goes on. And that's what you want to do. You want to be trending up. You want to be trending upwards. And, hats off to them.
You see Howie Roseman making moves like getting Jaelan Phillips, who contributed so much today. What is that message to the locker room that you see Howie making all these moves to try to get back to where you guys want to be?
He's greedy. He won another one, and we all won another one. So we know that all the moves that he's making is for that reason. So
thanks, Saquon.
We're trying to get on the same page and get that going, and that was 2 times where it happened and it clicked. That's something that we can build off of.
On that DeVonta touchdown, did you kind of clear out like the defenders and everything? That kind of get over?
The safety on my side didn't budge. He was locked in on me, and so it was freed up DeVonta. You got me calling him DeVonta. Got freed up Smitty. Freed up Smitty on like the street. And he caught. He made a play.
On Saquon's touchdown, the block you made, or I'm sorry, not his touchdown, on his big run to make that run happen, is that a part of your game that you think goes unnoticed at times?
I don't know if it goes unnoticed, but that's a part of like my job. So I got to block. And I think I don't. That's not really like something I should be highlighted for. I think that's something Saquon should be, because he made the guy miss, and he went down the sideline. So.
Jalen with the big throw late for the touchdown. What's it say about him that he can pretty consistently make those big plays like when you guys?
Yeah, he read the defense right at the right time, and he pulled the trigger at the right time, and Smitty made the play. So.
How do you balance being happy that you beat a really good Packers team on the road with the frustration of leaving some meat on the bone as an offense?
I wouldn't say it's about being happy or frustrated or anything. I think it's just coming to work with the mindset of just getting better, and that's what we have to do.
What makes DeVonta so good? Contested catches.
I mean, he's always catching. He's always working. I think that's part of his skill set, and that's probably a question for him. But he's always
student of receiver.
Yeah, but he's always trying to get better. And hats off to him.
What was it like playing in that cold out there?
Oh, it was fine. It wasn't cold.
I mean, it seemed pretty cold.
Nah, that ain't cold.
That last like deep ball on 3rd down, like that was it kind of worked, against the Vikings and everything. What was kind of the difference?
Sometimes you make the play, sometimes you don't. That's a part of the game. So, we'll try my best to make the next one.
Do you appreciate the shot there?
Do I appreciate the shot?
Yeah, the aggressiveness.
I don't know. I think that shows the faith that he has in us. Because honestly, that's kind of who we are. So.
You kind of might have just answered my question. You said that's who we are, but were you surprised with that call? Because I know a lot of people were. in that situation?
Again, if that's who we are, then you shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
So, I guess we played in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And this time we did. You know, so it happens like that sometimes.
I noticed Quinyon wore your jacket today. What's it mean to see one of your teammates, support your jacket, but also like put the message behind it?
It means everything, that I have the support of my teammates, especially Q, and the message behind it kind of speaks for itself, So I think we should do that more. I think should speak up, especially when you're feeling something. But just to see my teammates like Q, which is somebody that I respect, and he has respect for me as well. So I'm just happy to see.